What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about LiAngelo Ball. Just wrapped up Summer League, no more games left to be played for him. And I kind of wanted to just talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly for LiAngelo. Kind of wanted to go over how his Summer League experience went. What went well for LiAngelo? What was bad for him? You know, things that he can improve on. And overall, I just kind of wanted to talk about, should LiAngelo be expecting a contract offer from some team, whether it's, the Hornets or some other team, and will it be from, their G League team? Will it be, an opportunity to make their actual NBA roster? Wanted to talk about those things, and so with that being said, let's get into the video. So like I said, LiAngelo Ball wrapped up Summer League. It's the first time that we got to see Jello play in like 3 years, and so it was great to see him finally get back on the court, and I would put that under the category of good. It was good just to see him play in real basketball games because, like I said, we haven't seen him play in a real game in about 3 years now. It's been a long time since he's played basketball, and you need to be playing, real basketball to get better. And so, just, right off the bat, the good for LiAngelo was that he was back out there. He finally got a chance to play, at the NBA level, at least to some extent, with the Summer League, and, get a chance to, prove the haters wrong that he can actually play at a very high level. And I think that's something that he definitely did. It was good, like I said, just to see him back out there on the floor. Now for stats, LiAngelo's final stats in Summer League ended up being 9.6 points per game, which technically made him 5th on their Summer League team in scoring. But if you look at everyone's average, it's basically second because he had a couple guys in front of him that averaged 10 points a game. So we're talking, less than half a point per game difference between 5th and 2nd place. So basically tied for 2nd in scoring. Shot the ball all right from the floor. He shot 37.5% from the floor. 38, I guess, if you want to round up, which isn't great. I would probably put that kind of in the bad category, but it was on low volume, only a 5-game sample size. Can't put too much into that. He shot 34.5% from 3, which again, very low volume, less than 30 attempts, only 5 games, and so can't put too much stock into those numbers. Now that is kind of trending towards the bad side, just because those aren't, great numbers or great efficiency from the floor. But, like I said, small sample size. I think he showed enough of his spot-up capabilities and shooting, stroke that I think, with more, reps, more, getting used to game situations, I think that 3-point number would creep up to 40. And just with the way that Jello plays, most of his shot attempts are going to be 3-pointers, and so he's never going to shoot the greatest percentage overall from the floor. And so I think, with time, with reps, with more comfortability, with the team, I think you could see those numbers, creep up into, the low 40s, somewhere in there. And so, like I said, I think as far as, pure number-wise, the points was good. The shooting percentages were leaning towards bad, but I think he showed enough in those aspects that, it would be trending, towards up. As far as the rest of, the stat sheet goes for LiAngelo, not a whole lot to speak of. Only 2 rebounds a game, 0.4 assists per game, and he did that in 17 minutes a game. And so, again, not a lot of minutes, not, obviously a lot of games played with only 5, and so wasn't expecting a whole lot, as far as those categories go, because that's not LiAngelo's game. And so, like I said, not good, not bad, I guess. Obviously, you'd like to see a little bit more out of him in terms of the stat sheet. But with only 17, minutes per game, his first time playing in, over 3 years, can't complain too much about that. Another thing that I would put in the good category for Jello is something that doesn't really show up in the box, sheet or score, and that is his hustle. He showed, great hustle. He, on the defensive side of the ball, was always trying to crash the glass. When it came to, his team securing a rebound, he was one of the only players that I saw sprint the floor every time down the floor. I mean, he was running the wing, trying to get to that 3-point line, and, it maybe didn't always lead to, him getting a touch, but it definitely forced, the other team to get back on defense. And he did a great job of just, like I said, filling the lanes, hustling down the floor and, spacing the floor to that three-point line and making the defense respect him. Like I said, he was one of the only players I watched in Summer League on the Hornets or any other team that consistently did that. And that was, really good to see because, just in the past, Jello hasn't always been the most in-shape player. And so I put that on. Another thing under the good is that he looks like he's in a lot better shape, just in terms of, his body. He's always been strong, but it looks like he's, fit and strong. And so his hustle combined with, his body and probably being the best shape he's probably ever been in, I put those both under, the good category and, positives for him, out of this experience. Now, a couple things under the bad category I'd put for Jello are, his defense. Just not a great defender, just doesn't have the lateral quickness. And one thing that really, hampers him is his wingspan. I believe both Lonzo and LaMelo have like 7-foot wingspans. And I believe at the pro combine that LiAngelo went to, he, had like an average wingspan, like a 6'5", 6'6" wingspan, something like that. And so, you combine, his kind of lack of, lateral, quickness, and then his short arms. There was times guys were just kind of shooting over him, and he wasn't really able to contest shots like that. And so defense is something that, he's got the ability to guard kind of bigger guys that want to use physicality. But when it comes to like more shifty guys or guys who can, get into that mid-range area and just kind of shoot over people, LiAngelo doesn't have much of an effect on those guys. He did hustle. He was trying. It wasn't like it was a lack of effort. He's just not physically gifted like, someone like Lonzo or LaMelo with a longer wingspan. And so defense is always going to be something I think that he's going to struggle with. And it's just never going to be a strength for him. Some other thing that I kind of noticed or was kind of weird, it was probably just more due to the fact that he was getting used to playing basketball for the first time in like, 3.5 years or whatever. And he's never really been in a true organized system, really. It's always been LeVar's system. But he would just, cut at the most random times. And it seemed like he was drawn to that, I guess, left wing block or whatever, where he would always post up in high school. It was like the ball would be on that wing, and he would be like in the opposite corner. And he would just want to cut to that block, even though, the Hornets were trying to, run an offense and they were setting cutters through there. And he would just, at times, like, clunk that up, and it was just kind of random cuts like that. Wasn't sure if he was just doing that on his own, if that was part of the offense. It just looked weird, and so I'll chalk that up to just kind of being his first time playing basketball in 3.5 years. But it was just kind of weird to see, and it didn't look like it belonged in the flow of the offense, and so I just thought that was pretty weird. So overall, I think this was a great showing for LiAngelo. I think it was, really good of him to play in the Summer League and prove that he is a legit professional basketball player. I think a lot of people had doubts about that, and I think he proved those people wrong. And now, what level can he play at, or should he be playing at? I don't think he's quite an NBA player at the moment. I think that if there's certain things he focused on, if he could, get a little better defensively and kind of, I would put him in that PJ Tucker type role. If he could be that type of defender, just master, catch and shoot 3-point shots. He's got that type of build, and you can't tell me that, athletically, PJ Tucker is that much different, than LiAngelo. But again, I think it comes down to that wingspan. I'm pretty sure PJ Tucker has a bigger wingspan than Jello. But I think if he embraced that type of role, I think he could eventually find himself in the league. As of now, I think he's a G League type guy. I think that it would, he should definitely get an opportunity there. And, if he plays well there, obviously he'd get a call up to the NBA. And so, I think that, like I said, is the level that he's at right now. Could he be an NBA player someday? I think so. But overall, great, experience for him. Great to see him back on the floor. And, he's only going to get better with more game reps. This is his first time playing in 3.5 years. Can't, stress that enough. That's a long time without playing basketball. And so, fun to see him play. Hope to see him, like I said, make a G League roster. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of him in his summer league. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.